What's going on, YouTube? We made it. We are at the season 1 finale of the Chopper Fett Moto vlogging channel. How fitting. This is the initial road that I took on my first vlog, so that's where we're on right now. We'll deviate from that shortly, but unlike your major cable subscribers, you do not have to wait a whole season now for me to bring out some new episodes. They'll be coming out as early as next week. Let's roll that intro and we'll get to our last subject of the season. Roll it. You'd think a small town wouldn't have this much stupidity in it, but it does. Anyway, the subject I decided I would talk about, I think is very fitting, is going to be what I've learned from YouTube in my first season. This will be, I think, episode 26, so basically a half a year of motovlogging will now be in the books. And I learned a few things along the way. You can definitely tell I'm not the same as I was when I first started. I feel like I have a little bit more confidence to my tone, a little bit better swagger, if you so say. Okay, not swagger, that's stupid. But you know, I've not had a very good experience with this media mod so far. We'll see if what I currently have rigged up will work or not. But so far it hasn't been $80 not well spent. So I figured I would do my top 5 things that I learned as a YouTube content creator in the past year. Oh man, behind a guy with a basketball goal in his trailer. It's beautiful out and I'm not able to enjoy it yet. I'm enjoying it. So let's get to the subject today. My top 5 things I've learned. So the first and foremost, I would say, is when you're creating your own channel, you got to know who you're doing it for. Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for YouTubers out there like yourselves? Or is it just that you don't even know? I decided that I was going to create this channel more of a documentary for myself, for when my kid, who starts to recognize things and understands what I'm saying, he can come back and watch my journeys that I have. They're not epic journeys by any stretch of the means, but that's who I started it for. And I won't lie, I mean, even since I started, I've kept an eye on that subscriber count, and I like to see it tick up and grow. But at the same time, I know that's not what my ultimate goal is. My ultimate goal is just to put out content that I'm proud of and to see growth. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I see a ton of growth from my own personal perspective from the first episode that I put out today. Now, some of that is due to technology is better, 2 cameras as opposed to 1. The mic setups are maybe a little bit better than they were as well, so there's a lot that goes into that. But I feel like the post-editing and everything like that kind of goes hand in hand. Point number 2. Click, click, boom. Alright, so that's the timing to get my 2 audios. That's point number 2, is to make sure your audio is set up well. I feel like my audio has been set up very well from the get-go with the Sena Pack Talk thing that's on there, and then it does a really good job. Like all of season 1 was pretty much used through it, and I thought I did a very adequate job. Now that I'm running 2 cameras, I have to sync the audio, so you always want to make sure you're doing some sort of something to coincide with each other, I guess would be a better word for it. But yeah, you got to get your audio right. If if all they're hearing is wind noise or your heavy breathing, which you guys do hear a fair share of my heavy breathing, but that's not necessarily the microphone's fault. That's the fact that I'm a freaking heavy man, out of shape. I got heavy breathing just putting on my helmet. Now, that's not like a heavy breathing because I'm winded. Well, I guess it kind of is. That's, for some reason, putting whoosh on the head equates to, for some reason, it equates to me being out of breath. So that's something I need to change on a personal thing. I actually have another video, season 2, that's going to talk about that. But anyway, getting the audio sorted, that is major. Speaking of audio, I wonder how bad that just was. I had my chin vents open. Things you have to kind of consider when you're moto vlogging is wind noises and things of that nature. I feeling up top, and I'm hoping my vents up top aren't open. It looks like they're closed right now, so we're actually okay. But the Shoei is a little bit louder than that Shoei GT Air was. So I'm hoping that's not going to be a bad thing because I just sold that Shoei GT Air. Oh man. Point number 3, your content. You got to keep that content fresh. And I know I'm actually going to say that I've been a little stagnant on fresh content now. I'm not repeating my subjects on a given week, but everything I've done so far has been basically this, me talking to the camera, which, you know, that's what a vlog is. That's what you're supposed to do, is talk to a camera and, you know, talk about things. But there's so much more that I want to do with this channel when I can find time, but finding time can be difficult if you are, you know, a family man or got a job that takes up a lot of your time. I happen to be both. I work 40 plus hours a week. I have a kid and a wife. That's a full-time job in itself, more so for the kid than the wife. She's gonna shoot me. But no, I mean, just putting out some more creative, like cinematic type pieces. I know I spoke about that a little bit on my New Year's video. I just don't know what those are going to be yet. I have an idea as far as some things I would like to do. But I live in Kansas and I can't get some of those shots that I'm looking for. You can get some rolling prairies and stuff like that, but that's about it. Hello, Mr. Officer. You got to keep that content fresh. So what I do to combat that is I use just a simple notes program on my iPhone to kind of keep me on schedule. I kind of have a lot of these subjects planned out usually 3 or 4 weeks in advance, and that way it helps twofold. One, it keeps keeps your ideas on paper so you don't forget them, and then two, as you're sitting at work and you might be bored or drifting off a little bit, you can actually start to think about what you're going to talk about. Because the worst thing you could do is have a whole bunch of yeah, so, and so. So was my biggest one. You'll hear me say so many times, and it's something I'm working on. It's gotten better. Because see, this is actually an improv motovlog that I'm doing here today. And actually that kind of can lead into my fourth point, is your editing skills. You don't need to be a professional editor in order to put together these type of videos. It helps. I wish I had gone to college for some of that marketing type things, to be a better graphics designer and be better with some of the software. I used to be awesome with software way back when, but I'm not anymore. I'm not that same person, which is fine. But as far as the editing goes, what's nice about the editing is, you almost saw me stall there, but you didn't, because I edited it out. Which you can also edit out a lot of the pauses in between your conversations. So I could say something now, and then 5 seconds later, I am picking it up like I just did there. You saw the kind of clip between segments. I think some people like seeing the rawness of it, of me trying to process things in my head. But I want to keep my time limits short so that I'm getting as much out there as I can. So I will kind of edit out some of my and thoughts that I'm going through. Just a kind of little pointer heads up. So that was tip number 4. And now tip number 5 goes back to the subscribers of the channel and everyone who's viewing the video. Leaving a comment in the section below. If you're new to making a channel, you want to make sure you're at least liking every single one of those comments except for the bad ones. You know, those can be filtered out, but you want to make sure you're acknowledging that the comments that the subscribers are leaving to you, because one, they can provide you some additional content. I made 2 videos last season based off of comments that people had left. I had one guy who said that the reason he bought the GoPro 8 was because of the footage that I provided to him. So that's awesome. I love the fact that things that I have been saying and doing are actually helping people make their own life choices. I mean, I don't want to say whether or not you should or should not date a girl or anything like that, but oh boy, yellow. I love the feedback. I can take a constructive criticism pretty well. So, you know, there's all that. Anywho, I think I'll go ahead and let you guys go here today. I hope you enjoyed my top 5 impressions for things that I've learned in my first half a year doing this. I do think next year I'll probably take February off, just because it's my down riding season. It's harder to actually get out and ride. So I'll talk about that more, you know, when it comes closer to time. But we'll see. I hope you guys enjoy the channel. As always, click that subscribe button if you are liking what you're seeing. And I will catch you guys on the dark side in season 2 next week. Hopefully I have something cool to start off the year. I doubt it. See you guys.